So, hello again. Why does God demand order? Well, a couple of things. First of all, I'm Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind. But back to the question at hand. Why does God demand order? Well, the simplest answer, of course, is that God demands order because order is creative and chaos is destructive. It's as simple as that. But let's take it deeper. Order is creative and chaos is destructive. Yesterday, I stressed that order is an integral part of us. Everything that has to do with us that is well and good has to do with order. Order is an integral part of us. For instance, our bodies function on order. Billions, actually billions of function per second are coordinated and operating in order. Oh, billions, billions, billions of functions in order, coordinated. Functions that happen to be in precision and very high order. Now, everywhere we look around us, we see order making things work properly. At the same time, at the 6 o'clock news, it's filled with story after story showing the destruction of chaos, from weather, bad weather, to fires, to murder. Where order breaks down, destruction takes over. That's why we need order. Please click on the thumbs up button if you haven't already done so. Please choose to subscribe. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments and questions. If you are viewing this video live, you will see that on the right side of the screen there is a chat box. And so your thoughts and comments can go there in the chat box. Below the screen is the thumbs up button. So if you would click on that, I'd appreciate it to give approval. And in the lower right-hand corner is the logo. And if you click on the logo, you can subscribe. So back to the subject at hand. If you were seeking, in our quest to bring love, peace, and harmony into the world, we must embrace order. We must, because that's the only way that we can become powerful, transformational, spiritual warriors. As spiritual warriors, we are seeking to become channels for the healing energy of love that flows from infinite intelligence into the world. Now, in order to elevate our consciousness to the level where we can become those channels of love, we must bring our minds and our lives into order. Now, yesterday I reminded you of the term, know thyself. Now, it's a term that's been around for thousands of years. It's engraved on the caskets of ancient Egyptians from 5,000 years ago. It was carved on the ancient Greek temple of the oracles of Delphi. It was urged upon us by the great William Shakespeare in his plays. Know thyself. That's the key to becoming all that we can hope to be. Know thyself. Know thyself. So how does one get to know thyself? Well, the first step is to recognize that you probably don't know yourself yet. At least that's the situation with most people. Generally, we lead our lives based upon what somebody else thinks our lives should be. That could be our families, our friends, our community, our traditions. So many of our life decisions are made for us before we're even old enough to make our own decisions. And then they get firmly planted into our lives to the point that we don't seem to have a choice about changing them. That's normal. That's how, the way it happens. Caroline Mace calls that the first level of power. But in the words of Farnoosh Brock, let me bring her up. Farnoosh Brock says, not knowing yourself becomes obvious sooner or later. A quiet frustration lives in your heart when you do not know yourself. You may choose to live with it and ignore it, or you may choose to start getting to know yourself. Farnoosh Brock. She's a life coach, a teacher, a philosopher. Now, of course, if you are watching this program, then you probably already know that you don't know yourself, and you've chosen to do the work of getting to know yourself. You notice I say work, because it is work. It is work. It requires you to pay attention. It requires you to apply some energy to the project. I mean, if you check on the internet, you find that there are lots of different ways, or several, to different approaches and steps to complete the process of getting to know yourself. But even though there are differences between them, there are also some commonalities. So I'd like to deal with some of those. First of all, number one, get to know your personality. Get to know your personality. Not who someone else tells you you are, but by not being afraid of offending those who seek to control you, get to know your personality. Get to know your personality. That's key. Get out of the fear and get into the looking very hard. For me, that one took a lot of years. I mean, I spent a lot of time being nice and trying to be liked, afraid of letting people down by saying no. So I held myself back and tried not to rock the boat. If I didn't like something or didn't like a situation, I made adjustments. I went along to get along. You've heard that, right? Go along to get along. But finally, it got to be more than I could handle. I can remember being in a state of low-grade anger all the time, but I didn't realize that was the case. I began getting clues of it, though, when I would overreact negatively to a situation and express anger that was much more intense than the situation warranted. Eventually, I had to take a time out from the world and spend some time with me, by myself, to figure out what was going on. So my question is, the person you look at in the mirror, that you, is the person that you look at in the mirror pretending to be somebody else that isn't you? Think about it. Let's get on to it. Number two. Item number two, get to know your core values. What do others around you do that makes you uncomfortable? That's a key. When you find yourself being uncomfortable, then that is something that is in your conflict with your core value. Yeah, that's a tell. If in conflict with your core value, then that ain't you. So get to know your core values and what others do around you that makes you uncomfortable. I was watching a movie the other day. The name of the movie was The King of Staten Island. And in the movie, the lead character's friends were going to break into a pharmacy to steal drugs. And they wanted him to be the lookout, because he wasn't going to go in the store. They knew that. But they wanted him to participate and be the lookout. He refused. He declared that no, he was not going to do that, and they're going to have to part company over this one because that is not me. They tried to shame him into it, called him chicken and traitor and letting him down. But he didn't care. It didn't matter. He said, I am not doing that. No. So they had violated one of his core values. Core values are personal ethics or ideals that guide you when you're making decisions or building relationships and solving problems. Some values that could be someone's core values are honesty, compassion, integrity, generosity, optimism, loyalty, perseverance. So what are your most important values? Think about it. Those are your core values. Number three, get to know your body. Is your body happy being a couch potato? I mean, really, is your body happy as being a couch potato? I remember when I was very young, I, I was clumsy. I was uncoordinated when I was very, very young. When I was a teenager, I remember being embarrassed in gym trying to play volleyball and missing the ball completely and having everybody laugh at me. Uh, or trying to play basketball and not being able to catch the ball and shoot it. I was stumbling over my own 2 feet. That's because my feet were growing so fast. I remember one summer, my feet grew 2 sizes in one summer. So anyway, we make decisions about what our body can and cannot do based upon past experiences or based upon fears that we might have that I wouldn't be any good at it. So these fears can hold us back to really testing our bodies, testing what our body is. So anyway, I remember many years later I was involved with a group socially, and they played volleyball on the weekends. And I always wanted to sit out because I knew, hey, I've had this experience. I'm not going to put myself out there and make a fool of myself again. My body is not coordinated, so there, forget about it. But they wouldn't allow me to sit out. They said, even if you are clumsy, you need to get in here and play just because you need to participate. So, okay, I got involved. I started playing volleyball, and surprise, I could actually hit the ball. Surprise, I could actually block the ball. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I became so good at playing volleyball that I became one of the star blockers whenever we played against other teams. Who knew? Do you know your body? Are there some things that intrigue you or interest you that you aren't doing because, well, I wouldn't be any good at it? Or, gee, I don't know how to do it, and therefore I don't want to make a fool of myself. Go for it. Go for it. See what your body can do. Give it a chance to express itself. Yeah. Number 4. Number 4, maintain a journal. Keep a written record of your life and your dreams. Maintain a journal. Now, journaling, I know journaling is to enter or record daily thoughts and experiences and events in a journal. Now, a lot of men I know are going to reject that idea immediately because keeping a diary is a girl thing. But actually, it isn't. Scientists keep journals in order to track their failures and successes in their experiments. Writers keep journals in order to record incidents and ideas that they can use later. News reporters, police officers, entrepreneurs, teachers, the list goes on and on because the value in maintaining a journal is that it preserves experiences much better than your memory does. And if you want to grow mentally and emotionally, journals are great for keeping track of progress and setbacks as well as important events. And as far as recording your dreams, I know I've run into so many people that I work with who say, they don't remember their dreams, so there's no need trying to write them down. But after I get them into that journal, into the task of writing in your journal, write in your journal every day, they start to remember their dreams. They don't remember their dreams because they're not being called upon to remember. So I'm forcing them by journaling to remember their dreams, and boom, it happens. So as I've told you here, so many of my dreams bring me messages and answers to questions. So I know dreams work. I know dreams are of value. I know that I need to write down my dreams because they tell me a lot. And you can always go back and refer to something later. It's like, oh, did that happen? Yeah, let me check. So there are 4 things you can begin to do right away in answering the task of know thyself. 1, get to know your personality, not who someone else tells you you are. 2, get to know your core values. What do others around you do that makes you uncomfortable? That is a strong hint about your core values. 3, get to know your body. Is your body happy being a couch potato? I think not. And 4, maintain a journal. Keep a written record of your daily life and your dreams. Write it down. God, or as we call it, infinite intelligence, works through order, not chaos. Order. So if you want to take your life to a higher level, then you have to move yourself from being like the light bulb. Remember I explained the light bulb yesterday? When you turn on the light, it fills the room with light because the light goes in all different directions. But that's the extent of its power. Whereas you can be like that, or you can begin to focus. You begin to know yourself. You begin to become coherent. So like a laser beam, your light becomes focused and powerful, cutting through the flak, cutting through steel. So my advice, break out of the fear. Start building your life of order and power. It's easy, but it ain't hard. No, it's not easy. It is hard. It is very hard. That's why it takes work and energy and discipline and determination, because your body is going to fight against you, but you need to make it happen. Hey, let's talk some more about it tomorrow, okay? In the meantime, let's close with prayer. Thank you, infinite intelligence, for bringing all of us together in this life so that we may become spiritual warriors and join in the work we have come here to do. Thank you, infinite intelligence, for bringing us into this space of awareness and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationship to life and infinite intelligence. Thank you for showing us who we really are. We open our minds and hearts to the truth of our being. We are the children of God. We are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. And because we are part of the greater whole, we are beginning to understand our value to the continuity of life on this planet. And as we become channels of your power, infinite intelligence, we can feel your presence within ourselves and within our lives more and more. And we know that as we feel your presence within our lives every day, we will rise because we are no longer cut off from you by being immersed in the darkness of fear, anger, and the pain of unforgiveness. So we are now restoring our connection through the grace of forgiveness, knowing that as we learn to forgive ourselves of the pain we have caused to ourselves, and as we learn to forgive those who have inflicted pain upon us, our connections will grow stronger, and our lives will grow happier and healthier and more prosperous. And for this, we are truly grateful. As above, so below. As within, so without. And so it is. Amen. Please, click on the thumbs up button below, and if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe to my broadcast. Remember, I'd love to hear from you. Your thoughts, comments, please use the comment section now below, because this is coming to an end. So use the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your being here. My name is Reverend Andrew Bozeman. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, because this has been On the Wings of Your Mind.